Hi, this is Lauren from Triple L Reptile here at the Pomona Supershow, and we're talking about snakes. And I was posed a very good question today, and talking about different snake species that I kind of see that are exciting for the future. African house snakes, I think that's a really good variety of animals, lots of cool color variations. Husbandry on these things is super simple. I would say that a lot of my interest in a lot of the new species that I'm personally interested in seeing kind of advance in the hobby are things that are smaller, rosy boas. I think there's a really cool area of sand boas and all the different types of sand boas, not just your Kenyans, but all the different other, not only the morphs, but also the different species in that category. So I think that's kind of the trend that I'm seeing is things kind of getting smaller, things getting into different animal types that we are maybe unfamiliar with in the current hobby, but have been mainstays in the hobby of the past.
Garrett?
Yes, sir.
You made the long trek to Southern California.
We're tired, we're here, we're excited.
All right, quick question.
Okay.
What should be, not will be, this is not a prediction.
Okay.
This is a should be, a recommendation. What is currently way underrated or unknown in the hobby? What should be the next big thing in snakes?
Are you asking me specifically because I'm standing in front of a bunch of African house snakes, or no? That's my go-to. Let me think.
That's my go-to as well of late.
African house snakes are they're almost like a basil snake, right? Not quite a colubrid, not quite a python. Ancient, awesome, all things to all people. They are a lot of fun. But what should be a big thing with snakes?
It's okay.
Yeah, well, I mean, that was definitely my go-to. I thought it was funny because I'm standing here with house snakes and not superdoors right now. But I think the next big thing with snakes is to start to realize some of the aspects of their natural biology that we don't pay much attention to. Things like their social interactions with each other. How does that change it up seasonally? How does that engage their mind? I really have a lot of fun with the Superdorf retics in particular, respond very well to training and routines and stuff. You can change stuff up and do things with them. So interacting with your animals and adding that as part of the husbandry, just like if you have a dog, you got to get that dog out on a walk. You really should. And if you're not, you have to do other things to make up for it. So what are we doing like that for snakes, right? Whether they're colubrids, pythons, or whatever it is, it's like, can we engage their minds? How do we get them, the trend in housing now is like bring the outdoors in, right? Big panes of glass and blurring those lines. How do we share more of our lives with snakes? So rather than having little collections in boxes, like I'm a comic book collector or something like that, or I have a collection of rocks, how do I have snakes interacting with me in my home more, or in awesome displays, or conversational starting like almost furniture pieces? And how can I interact more with them? So like with the retics, they're big and they do well in really large enclosure. I have so much fun. I have an over 20-foot female that I can walk into her enclosure and interact with her. And when I treat her like that, it's totally different, my relationship to her, than it was when she was in a smaller enclosure, because I don't have to disturb her right away every time we start interacting. I can come kind of be with her on her own terms, and it deepens the relationship. So I guess if I had to boil it down, that was a long answer, but I think the next big thing that should exist in snakes is not just keeping them, but having a relationship with them and bolstering that. That's what I would say.
I would also add, let them relate with one another more.
Yeah, absolutely.
We have kind of completely deviated in the hobby, not just from cohabitation, but people are walling off three sides of the enclosure. They don't even know there's other snakes next to them.
Absolutely. That does make a big difference. One of the things we did recently with our grow-up snakes that's calmed them down a lot is we went to like an ultra clear instead of a semi-clear front. Only with as they're getting older. So you have to pay attention to your animals too, because the semi-clear allowed day-night cycles, but it helps them feel secure. Then after they're established eating and stuff, and they begin to grow and become more curious, we move them into an ultra clear, and we do cutaways on the side so they can see their neighbors or get away from them. So giving them those choices and starting to engage all of that kind of stuff. It's really fun when you work at it intentionally. Yeah, we've got the African house snakes here cohabbing, and they live really well like this. They're a very fun species. Because they're so small, it's easy to set up an awesome enclosure for them, and then because they are very social like this, similar to maybe a garter snake or something, I mean, you can see all kinds of stuff. These guys are exhibiting all sorts of behaviors right now, just hanging out in the enclosures together. So during feeding time, during all this kind of stuff, it's really cool to see them figure it out and interact and everything. And so there's not a lot of species, I think, that you can cohab unattended all the time like house snakes. So that adds an awesome element to it as well.
Cool. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Hi, I'm Jay Keys with New Age Pet.
I'm Henry Chen with New Age Pet.
The next new great thing is going to be our enclosures. They're made of EcoFlex. It's a composite material made from plastic and wood, and it's perfect for this because it doesn't absorb anything, and it also looks very attractive in your home.
So one more thing, it's lightweight. We just have a customer walk by and she loves our product. She's using our product now. It's lightweight and she really is a big thing for him.
Gosh, I love this girl.
My name is Bob Applegate. I'm with Moran Reptiles today. As far as the next big thing, I think it's a matter of your personal choice, but it should be relatively small, attractive, and be able to live in a 10 to 15 gallon aquarium for the rest of its life with minimal care.
Next big thing in snakes, I think, is going to be habitat housing that is more self-sufficient and cut out the electric guy. That make it cheaper, make it more fun.
All right, I'm Zach Loafman with Colubrid and Colubroid Radio and West Liberty University. What should be?
Should be your recommendation. Something that's underrated, something that's off everybody's radar.
Yeah, well, this is just coming from my background. I think what should be the focus for people is learning the natural history of the animals that they keep, and then figuring out ways to take that natural history and incorporate it into their care. That should be what we do for it. Doesn't matter if it's a python, a colubrid, a gecko, an isopod. If we do that, we do better. So that's my answer.
Titanoboa. I have another answer though, but definitely Titanoboa. Let's bring it back. So that would be a big thing in snakes, right? But my other answer would be, and I think this is happening, is that people are working more with the snake's brain rather than the snake's body and what the morph is and whatever. I love morphs, I love pretty snakes, but I think working with their brain, giving them husbandry that's not just here's how you keep the snake alive, it's here's how you keep it well so that it's happy and content for 20 or 30 years or however long your snake lives. I think that's much better than just trying to keep it alive. And I think that is happening. That is the next big thing in snakes because it's happening. Also, bring back Titanoboa.
And Bob, I have to ask.
Yeah.
What are you growing here?
Oh, I'm just growing a little sprout. I haven't seen it on me. I just clipped it on me a few minutes ago. It may look so stupid. I have no idea. No. So put in the comments, you guys, if it looks stupid or not. I need to know. I'll look at this video and we'll see.
You know it looks amazing.
Does it? Okay,
yeah.
good.
Hi, this is Nick with Fork Tongue Farm. Garter snakes are going to be the next big thing. You don't see that many of them. There were some albino checkered garter snakes, which were beautiful. They sort of faded away. But in today's market, they're going to come back hot and heavy.
Hi, I'm Clint Bartley with Metazotics and a co-host of Colubrid and Colubroid Radio. I've been asked, what is the next big thing in snakes? Now, I'm a big colubrid guy, so I'm probably going to talk in that direction. And I do a lot of market analysis and following the trends. And what I am seeing, the colubrid market as a whole continues to grow. We have more available than what we had last year in the same month. And this is based off like morph market results. What I would say that I'm seeing is it's not a one species big bang that's going to happen. Instead, we're seeing variety, but I'm seeing it within a price point. What people want right now, whenever it comes to colubrid specifically, they want something not everybody else has, but they don't want it to break the bank either. So in short, it's kind of an animal that falls in probably the, I'd say, $350 to $600 price range for most people. This will be regional, of course, but that is going to be not so cheap that everybody has them, but not so much that it's costing you a rent payment either. On top of that, there are some niches that I'm seeing that have been highly underrepresented in the hobby, which are gaining a lot of attention right now. Garter snakes are one. In fact, right now, garter snakes only make up 1% of all of the all of the colubrid listings. So only 1% of the colubrid listings on Morph Market at the moment. However, they've gotten tons of attention over the past year. So that's going to be one area I would recommend. I'm also seeing that there are a lot of Asian rat snake species that continue to gain popularity, and it's a drop in the bucket of what's available and what can still be added in the hobby, what's still available in the UK, and it's slowly trickling its way over to the US. So those are a couple that I would say if they strike you in, if they tickle your interest, I'd pursue them because there's going to be some big movement over there in the next 2 to 5 years.
Hi there, I'm Shira Loa of Snake Therapy with Shira Loa on YouTube and Instagram. I talk about the health benefits, mental and emotional health benefits of working with and caring for snakes. They can be very, very powerful healers, both by touching them and by taking care of them. We can get really powerful benefits to our emotional and mental health. So, hope you find me on YouTube.
Aloha. So the next biggest thing in snakes, well, I think should be is sharing snakes with friends. Sharing snakes with people that, if you have a snake, sharing that snake with your friends. Like people that don't know anything about snakes, that come to your house. Like, that should be big. Like the snake shouldn't just be sitting in your enclosure and they know you have it, like you should take it out. And anybody that comes over, you should get them comfortable with your snake. If there's somebody especially that doesn't have any comfortability with snakes at all, that should be a big thing. That should be the next big thing that everybody does. Like, oh yeah, people come over to my house to check out the snakes on a regular basis. Like have Snake Saturday or whatever. And you invite everybody you know over your house to come check out the snakes.
The next big thing in snakes is not only going to be more space, but more height. Maybe paludariums, but giving your snake more space to roam around, to stretch out, and also to climb, because yes, even ball pythons like to climb.